Good morning, everyone. It is a fantastic morning. It is approximately 7:30 in the morning-ish. I just got off the phone with a friend of mine who has let me know that there is some big news coming this morning. And I am super excited about it, if you can't tell. I won't be able to get back to the office to do like a full video on this until a little bit later in the day. So I just wanted to capture my excitement. The swamp creature, that is Marvin Richardson, the person who has played multiple roles at the ATF over the years, including agent, acting director, alleged arsonist and murderer at Waco, Texas, etc., etc. There's a whole bunch of them in there. That dude is getting fired this morning, effective at 8 a.m. He does not know it yet, but he's about to have a very bad day, and that means that I'm having a party.
Today's video is brought to you by First Form. This is a pro-freedom supplement and nutrition company. They are one of us, folks. And when I think of their products for you, I think of adding value to your life. So there are two products that I need you to go check out. There will be a link in the pinned comment and on the link tree that tells them that I sent you. Go browse their wares, but first is their meat stick. This is a 20-gram protein stick. Think smoked meat. Doesn't need to be refrigerated. Eat it on the go when you're hungry. And the second thing is their energy drinks. It's an energy drink that doesn't have a bunch of crap in it. First Form has been eliminating dumb ingredients since before it was cool. When you pour it out, for instance, it looks like water. Thanks to First Form for making today's video possible. And let's get into the video.
So you might ask, all right, Kurt, well, who is this Marvin Richardson guy? Well, I've done a full video on this dude, but to distill it down, I want you to basically conceptualize that this is one of the major driving forces behind your pistol brace regulation, your privately manufactured firearms regulation. He's the guy who claimed credit, even though it wasn't only him. He's the person who claimed credit for speeding up e-forms. And you're like, well, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't jive with the other two. What are you talking about? You got to remember that they were expecting, because of their pistol brace regulation, their rule, that they were going to have millions of new entries in the NFA registry. So they cleared off the backlog, expedited the process for getting those registrations done, because they expected a tenfold increase in the amount of stuff that was in the registry, if not 100-fold increase in the stuff that was in the registry. So yeah, they were going to have to speed that up to be able to process it. And I put it like this, right? Sometimes when you're drunk, you cut yourself with your own sword, and they were definitely very intoxicated on their own power.
We enforce laws in this country for ATF that are 88 and 54 years old, respectively, right? The National Firearms Act and the Gun Control Act. Those two laws have not been overhauled. They haven't been changed significantly over the course of that time, 88 and 54 years. But when you think about firearms, when you think about technology, when you think about processes and things of that nature, those things have changed. And so we have been limited by the language in the statutes. Well, here just recently, over the last year, we overhauled those two statutes, no small feat at all, to make sure that we could set the stage moving forward for law enforcement to have the tools that we need to be able to enforce these laws in a 21st century environment. That was no small feat, because literally when you talk about changing it, we had to do it through a regulatory process, not a statutory process, because we couldn't change the language of the statute, but we could redefine the terminology that's in the statute to make it fit today's standards.
And we're here. We're back in the office. I'm able to get this thing edited up and out to you guys. That was Marvin Richardson boasting about how proud he was that the ATF subverted the rule of law, went around Congress's decree, and rewrote their definitions to fit what they felt the government should be regulating, what they feel the government should be infringing on American citizens' God-given and inalienable right enshrined in our Constitution, literally the second thing they wrote. What they think that it should do, not what Congress wrote. That was him boasting about it. And here I have for you a story from my friend John Crump over at AmmoLand that confirms this story. There's just one problem that I have here. The information that I was given is that this dude was fired. And in John's story, and I'll quote it for you, and I'll also have it listed so that you can go read the whole article if you would like. It says that Mr. Richardson has been dismissed from his post after being forced to retire. His other option was to be forcibly removed from his position. That is not being fired. That is retired, voluntarily retired. And the problem that I have with that, while this is good that he is no longer there, the problem I have with that is I see this as he's basically in exile. He's going to leave there. He's going to go get a job at some radical place like Giffords or some crazy place like that. And then when the next anti-gun, anti-American regime comes into power, he's going to be right back in there screwing stuff up. So if he was indeed not actually fired, then I got a huge problem with this. And this is a big misstep by the administration. And I understand why they might do something like that to expedite the process, because it can take a long time to fire some of these federal employees, which is absolutely ridiculous. They are paid by the money that the government steals from me. We should get a say, and it should be relatively easy to remove these people, but it's not. And I understand why my phone's blowing up right now. I can understand why they would do such a thing to make it fast and easy, so they can avoid any kind of like litigation or anything like that. But what that does is means that this is probably the last that we're going to see of this person. I got to figure out what that is. Real Talk, that is a discussion group going off with many names that you would notice where we're discussing this very thing right now, and how if he was allowed to retire, that was a huge mistake. But this is a good move in the right direction. Now, one of the things that I would also like to point out is that the information that I was given is that this is not the last, that there are more heads to roll, so to speak. So it sounds to me, I'll just come out and say it, I was told that they're looking for names. So if you got any names, folks, now is the time to put them in the comment section down below. I want to hear from you, and apparently the administration would like to hear from you as well. While you're down there, you ought to take an opportunity to tell the administration that you don't want these people ever in your government again. And the best, fastest way to do that is to actually fire them. But we, the American people, will settle for you going and actually prosecuting them for violating the civil rights of American citizens. It might take a little bit longer, but we'll absolutely give you the time to handle that one. As far as my perspective on this one is concerned, I am guardedly optimistic about this one. This is obviously a good move, even if it is a temporary respite from this swamp creature. It is still good that he is not there. I would have liked to have seen it done in a more permanent fashion. Anyway, that's what I got for you guys today. What say you in the comment section down below?